right. Well, it's 5 o'clock now. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us, both on Google Meet and YouTube. We are very happy to announce a new trip that we're going to be launching for next year. It's a exciting itinerary that offers you some unique experiences in a way you probably haven't had them before, even if you've done different parts of this trip. So I have had Al and Richard join me. They are two of my escorts who guide a lot of the trips, and they have been to many, 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 many destinations all around the world. So whenever you're ready.
Hi, my name's Richard, and I look forward to meeting all of you. And hello, Sharon, and taking a trip together.
And I'm Al, and I'm going to be telling you a lot about this new exciting trip. That picture I see of Richard is in front. If you've seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, that's in Petra in Jordan. And that picture there of me under the Eiffel Tower was at the end of the Olympics last Sunday or last summer in Paris. I've traveled quite extensively. David, if you're ready, I'll just jump right into this. Um, we want to be sure we're going to be under 30 minutes, so not to worry, we won't go too long here. But you're going to hear things that are really quite a surprise on this. Very excited. And we're going to show you a number of pictures about it also. So David, next slide. So this is on a ship out of Tampa called the Margaritaville Islander. And this trip is New Orleans, Mardi Gras, and Parades Cruise Tour. There's plenty of time to plan on this trip because this brand new special itinerary is actually in 2027. It's on February 7th, the departure of the cruise, and it is a special one-time only sailing that they're doing, which is 9 days. Next slide. This is the first time ever that a cruise has combined the ability from Tampa to go to New Orleans Mardi Gras and do the Yucatan pyramids. Many travelers. First off, I should say I've traveled quite extensively in the world. I believe Richard has also. I've traveled to 148 countries. I have been to the Yucatan many times to see the sites of the Mayan civilization. And I've been to Mardi Gras many times. I'm going to tell you a lot about what Mardi Gras is like and how it works, etc. This is the first time I've ever seen the possibility of doing both premium events at the same time, the Yucatan and the Yucatan pyramids. The trip is escorted. It includes free transfers to the Tampa Pier from the villages and from many Florida cities. So this has a real benefit in that this trip is completely turnkey. And in terms of getting you to the ship, everything that happens on the ship, and when the ship returns to Tampa, including the transfers back to your city location. Next slide. First off, let's talk about a Margaritaville Islander. You may not have been on a Margaritaville cruise. This is a new program and a new ship for Margaritaville. You probably, if you have cruised a lot, have seen this before, though. This is Carnival Holland America Princess Corporation's platform ship that has been the most successful ship in their line. It is the Costa Atlantica platform. It is the Carnival Spirit platform and one of the Holland America platforms also. This ship is 85,000 tons. It was sold to Margaritaville for this Tampa itinerary, and they did quite an extensive renovation of the ship, and it relaunched brand new as Margaritaville, associated with Jimmy Buffett and his legacy in the fall of 2024. This is the first time they've ever done this itinerary. It is a special one-time sailing that Margaritaville Islander is going to do. In that picture there, you see all of the big bells and whistles, 12-story atrium on the ship, great theater, entertainment, multiples of restaurants, everything that you would expect. Margaritaville at sea is much more casual. At first note, I would have to tell you, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to them. And now some of these new itineraries they are doing, I'm paying more attention to them. And apparently a lot of people are, because they've just recently been named Cruise Critics Cruise Line of the Year. And to win that award from Cruise Critic, there's about 600,000 participants in Cruise Critic that write reviews, of course, the onboards, events, and the meetups, etc. It's quite a program for experienced cruisers, and they just voted Margaritaville Cruise Line of the Year. Next slide. Some of the exteriors on the ship. It's very whimsical. Their motto is "It's 5 o'clock somewhere," basically, which is the Jimmy Buffett motto, and very casual. And for Mardi Gras and to go to the Yucatan pyramids, I think a great choice. Next. Now, here's first and foremost what's really important about this cruise. Let me begin by saying I have been to Mardi Gras many, many times. Harry Connick Jr. has arguably the most famous crew and parade during Mardi Gras season, which is called Orpheus, the crew of Orpheus, Harry Connick, the famous singer. And I'm a member of the crew of Orpheus, have been to Orpheus Escape, which is the big ball. These are social clubs. A lot of people don't realize Fat Tuesday is not the only day of Mardi Gras. It really starts right after the early January Epiphany event. And then it goes all the way to Fat Tuesday, which is the last day before Lent. And it is the celebration of the flesh, basically, of the crews. There's approximately 40 crews that do walking parades, float parades, balls, all kinds of different social events. This is the social season of New Orleans. That's what Mardi Gras is. From the first to about the beginning of around the 10th of January until Fat Tuesday, it is a social event. I have done Mardi Gras many times. I have an assigned seat on the famous Dragon in Orpheus. It's the largest parade float in the world. It's 100 feet long. You will not be seeing Orpheus because it's done earlier in the weekend and because you're there for Fat Tuesday. But to be at Mardi Gras is quite special. I have also done sightseeing many, many, many times. I've brought many groups to New Orleans, Christmas time, Labor Day weekend. Spring is a favorite of mine, Jazz Festival. So I've been to New Orleans many, many times. I have never done this itinerary this way. Now that's really important because it is possible to cruise for Mardi Gras, but you're not there for Fat Tuesday. It's in the middle of the week. Fat Tuesday is Tuesday. Lent begins on Wednesday. So if you take a cruise, you might butt up against Mardi Gras, but you're not really there for Mardi Gras. This cruise is. Now, that's a full stop. I'm making sure that everyone that's ever really wanted to experience Mardi Gras, this cruise is so unique in this 9-day itinerary because you're physically in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And one of the things that's really important is this ship will, on the Mississippi River, not quite yet, David, this ship on the Mississippi will dock not far from the GNO Bridge and the Algiers Ferry. So it's very close to the Hilton, which is very famous on Canal Street. You are right in the Central Business District and the French Quarter. This ship is docked there. So you will be able to walk off the ship right into the heart of New Orleans and the Mardi Gras events. That is very unique. I have not even ever done that before. So fantastic. And you're seeing some of the pictures, Commander's Palace in the garden district, one of my favorite restaurants in really the entire country. The streetcar through the Garden District. The top left is Bourbon Street, and of course, parades and the floats. Next slide, David. I want to point out one of the things that this trip is fantastic for is value. And the reason it is fantastic of the value of it is if you were going to go to Mardi Gras, you're going to spend approximately $500 a night to go to New Orleans. You're in the French Quarter or you're in the Central Business District, which butt up against each other. The French Quarter is on one side of Canal Street. The Central Business District is on the other side of Canal Street. The parades go right through the Central Business District on famous St. Charles and then turns right onto Canal to the Mississippi River. So that's exactly where you want to be and exactly where the ship is. If you were going to go to Mardi Gras and stay for that weekend or Fat Tuesday, you would spend about $500 a day. That's why it's important to note here your hotel is your ship. So it will dock there for 2 days. So you're able to do all of this, but you're not paying French Quarter or Central Business District rates for hotels. I draw your attention to that because that's why this cruise has basically, it's brand new and has not been widely announced yet. And so it's going to be snapped up right away because of that. Next slide. You're there the full day of Fat Tuesday. You'll come off the ship that morning. And the Fat Tuesday parades, there are going to be 5 of them. On Fat Tuesday, this is the big day of Mardi Gras through the Garden District and Canal Street back down to Mississippi River. It is the most important day of the entire Mardi Gras season, which is about 40 to 50 days, but it's the most important day to be there. Next slide. This is the huge benefit. The crowds are humongous, as you can imagine. I know all of us have seen the pictures on television. Every television station and network on the planet does pictures from New Orleans when the Mardi Gras parades are going on. The crowds are quite huge. This has the benefit of when you come off the ship, you have reserved seats. So you have seats for the parade, and there are 5 of them. The parades go on all day long, starting in the morning until the late afternoon. And I was just remarking to David, I've just seen the announcement for the Rex, which is the King of Mardi Gras parade on Fat Tuesday. Reserve seats for the Rex parade, which you will go to on this trip. The reserve seats for that parade alone are $100 if you buy tickets right now for February of 2026, $100 for that parade. So really terrific value because this trip already includes the reserve seats for all of the 5 Mardi Gras parades. Next slide. Some of the pictures here, it's really hard to imagine because it's not like seeing the Washington Cherry Blossom Festival or the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or the Pasadena Rose Bowl Tournament of Roses Parade. These are interactive. These are social clubs. Some of the social clubs can have 600 members. Orpheus, that I'm a member of, the ball has it's invitation only. The ball has like 2,000 people come to it. And members of the club think of it like a country club. It's a social club that meets all year long, has parties and events all year long, but Mardi Gras is its pinnacle event. And that's what a crew is. When they are in these parades, you can see pictures here. The upper left picture of whatever that theme was for that crew, everybody in the crew follows that theme. Individual costuming, but you're costumed. When you go to Zulu, which is the traditional Black crew on Mardi Gras Day, they are dressed in black and white face. And it was a protest when they first started. And in most of the Mardi Gras parades, all crew members must have their faces covered in some way, at least the nose and mouth. So you don't know who the person is. It's just a long-standing tradition of Mardi Gras, and some of these crews are almost 200 years old. It's really quite a special thing. And the parades are so fun because they throw things. I have a Zulu coconut. I have doubloons that are specialized for each year of their theme of their parade. Of course, mask and shirts and beads. Of course, beads are the signature, but not just any beads. It's the kind of beads that you're looking for. It's very fun. You will find in your reserve seats that you get very competitive on what you would like to have a crew member throw you. And the very famous phrase, "Throw me something, mister," is the Mardi Gras mantra of a Mardi Gras parade. Next. You're there Tuesday night. Now, this is very important because this is not something most people see unless you're paying to stay in the French Quarter or the Central Business District. Mardi Gras actually ends at, I believe it's 11 o'clock closure. It might be midnight. I'm not exactly, I don't remember exactly. I've seen it a number of times, and it is a very fun thing to watch. And the reason is because Lent is getting ready to begin, and the New Orleans Police Department ceremoniously come down Bourbon Street and Royal Street to close Mardi Gras. And everybody must come off the street as the police come through to close and bring an end to the festival season, the Mardi Gras season. Mardi Gras ends and Lent and repentance begins. And repentance lasts for about 95 seconds before everyone comes back onto the street, and then the party really gets started in the French Quarter. Now, whether you want to see that and do it, I recommend you go and see it because it's fascinating from just the history standpoint of Mardi Gras, but it is quite amazing. The great thing on this cruise is your hotel is ship. So you are literally maybe 10 blocks from that location of somewhere on Bourbon Street. Quite fantastic experience. That's a competitive crew, by the way, of the train. That is Bacchus, our arch rivals at Orpheus. Next slide. The other big feature is that you have a short, in addition to seats for the parade, you have a shore excursion included. And there is a tour on the second day in New Orleans when it gets a little quieter after Fat Tuesday of a New Orleans French Quarter tour, and that is included. Next. Travel Club exclusive features when the cruise ship leaves New Orleans. A lot of people do not realize how a ship gets to New Orleans. For all of us, if you're in Florida, you know Tampa on the water, Tampa Bay. If you've been to Port Canaveral on the Atlantic, Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades, or Port of Miami, you're right on the ocean. New Orleans is not. New Orleans is 5 hours from the ocean. That's fascinating because the ship is going to be docked on the Mississippi River at High Bluff, which is where the French Quarter was. The French Quarter has existed for 400 plus years because it was a high bluff of the Mississippi River. And why high bluff? To try to prevent flooding. And so as a result, you are a long way from the Gulf, from the Atlantic Ocean, 5 hours to be specific. And when the ship leaves, you're going to have quite an extensive day, which is very scenic, down the Mississippi River. And the cruise ship is literally sailing on the Mississippi River down to the bayous and then into the Gulf. It's quite a wonderful day. You'll pass a number of big antebellum mansions, pre-Civil War mansion homes where cotton was king. And these were cotton farms. And you'll get to see all of that from the deck of your ship. Next slide. Then the ship goes to the Yucatan. Now, I am equally excited about this. Again, remember, 2 days in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and then you're going to the Yucatan. But this is not like the cruises that go to Cozumel. This does go to Cozumel, but it's not like that. And you'll see why in a moment. The cruise goes first to Progreso. And just quickly showing you these pictures, it also on is going to visit Merida, which is a colonial city. I'm going to tell you more about in a moment. And then to Cozumel. Those are the three big highlights. And of course, they're gateways to the big Mayan ruins in the Yucatan. Next slide.
And just a quick clarification: 2026 it goes Progresso then Cozumel. 2027 it goes Cozumel then Progresso. It's
Thank
the
you.
same experience, just different order.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for that clarification. Now, showing you the map, what David just told us. David, if you can circle Cozumel first, that's where the ship will be docked. It'll come from the Mississippi River and it's going to go to Cozumel. I am sure virtually every single guest participating in this meeting today has been to Cozumel on a ship. Exactly the same experience. Your day in Cozumel is like any cruise ship day in Cozumel. Mostly people stay on the island. Some cross on the ferry onto the mainland to Playa del Carmen. But Cozumel is that way. You can do all of that on this cruise just like you normally do. You have this ability, though, in this special shore excursion to take the high speed ferry from Cozumel, crossing the channel to Playa del Carmen. David's showing you that in the pointer. Then from Playa, if you'll go back, from Playa del Carmen, you're going to start into the jungle. And this is deep in the heart of the jungle. Only 5% of the population in the Yucatan live on this road between Cancun and Merida. Valladolid is the only town, it's not even a city. This is in the heart of the Yucatan jungle. In the middle of the Yucatan is Chichen Itza, which we're going to tell you more about. And you're going to visit Chichen Itza and then to Merida. And Merida is it's the colonial capital of the Yucatan, about 1 million people, quite beautiful, heavy Spanish, Spain, conquistador influence. And you're going to overnight on this shore excursion. And then from Merida, you're going down to Uxmal. And Uxmal is the second most important Mayan ruins in the Western Hemisphere. Huge pyramids here, and I'll tell you more about that. And then after Ishmael, you're going to Progreso, and that's where the ship will pick you back up to reboard. So you get off the ship in Cozumel, and you cross for the 2 days and 1 night of this shore excursion and get back on the ship in Progreso. You can't do that any other way. It's an absolute fantastic opportunity. Next slide. So, as I said, 2 days, 1 night. Day one, this says Uxmal first. This is actually day two. You're seeing the main square in Merida, and that is the Colcacan pyramid, very famous. Next slide. This is in Uxmal. This will actually be day two, Merida, the colonial city. The bottom right is the main square of of Merida. There's a basilica, a cardinal assigned by the Catholic Church here in Merida, quite beautiful. And you're seeing some of the ruins at Uxmal. Uxmal has two pyramids over 100 feet, about 160 acres, and more than 100 ruin sites. The most famous beyond the pyramids is the ball court. Chichen Itza is as big as this is. Chichen Itza is even larger, more than 300 acres. The famous Colcacan pyramid that you see here, really the heart of the religious empire of the Mayans. The most important archaeological site in the Western Hemisphere. The Mayans were far more powerful than the Incans at Machu Picchu and Cusco, or the native tribes in Western America and Canada. And that is the ferry that you will ride between Cozumel to get to the mainland. Next slide. More pictures here of Chichen Itza. I wish I could say that I was able to do that on the handstand, but no, I can't do that. But quite beautiful. One of the interesting things is this was a religious site. And so sacrifices were done here, and you will see the Plaza of Skulls. That is the sacrificing to gods. The Mayans were fantastic in astronomy and building construction. And with having no association with European or African knowledge, neither civilizations knew each other. The Greeks, the Egyptians, the Mayans did not know of each other's existence in the Western Hemisphere. The architecture and the astronomy is quite spectacular. And especially the astronomy aspects of their science. Next slide. More of the pyramids. This is in Uxmal, and they're in remarkable shape. And the reason why they're in remarkable shape, unlike Egypt and many archaeological sites in Europe, specifically Greece and Turkey, is populations, these were all forgotten. For all intents and purposes, these were not even rediscovered in the heart of these jungles until the 1940s. And really, no tourism began until the late 1960s. So as a result, they weren't dismantled or destroyed or stolen. And that's what makes them so spectacular. Next slide. Here's the real winner. This 9-day trip is $1,099 for inside cabins, $1,199 for ocean view cabins, and $1,599 for balcony cabins. And all of these rates include all of the government taxes and fees. So this is an all-in rate for the cruise tour. Now, the cruise tour includes all of the activities in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, which includes the reserved seats for the 5 parades in New Orleans, sightseeing. The 2-day shore excursion is heavily discounted for the travel club. It's $229 if you'd like to do the shore excursion. The 2-day, 1-night will visit Uxmal and Chichen Itza. It includes the ferry. It is escorted. It includes transportation. It includes your overnight first-class hotel accommodations in Merida. You come off the ship in Cozumel and reboard the ship the next day in the afternoon in Progreso. So it's really a fantastic value. I have to tell everybody, when the travel club put this in front of me, I got very excited. The one thing that I will tell you in advance, in full disclosure, is the cruise line was very conservative in cabin assignment because of the special nature of what the travel club was doing. And they only have 8 cabins and inside, 8 ocean view, and 8 balcony cabins. Suites can be requested, but there are no suite cabins being held. The cruise line would not allow that. That has to be requested. So the inventory of this Mardi Gras and Yucatan pyramids is limited. I just give you the heads up on that. Next slide. Easy to make reservations. One of the things that I appreciate on the travel club is they try to make it as affordable as possible. To confirm your reservation on this trip is $99, and then they do a $99 monthly interest-free payment plan. So it's very simple to get into the cruise tour. This is not a cruise. This is a cruise tour because there's so many sightseeing components included or shore excursion optional that are available. So that's why it's called a cruise tour. Next slide. As I said, the Travel Club is the only organization that I'm aware of in the United States that's doing something like this in 2026 and 2027. It's very unique. I, I hesitate to say I've been to New Orleans 35 times. I don't know. Many, many, many times. For somebody that doesn't know New Orleans, I know, who's not lived in New Orleans, I know New Orleans very, very well. Have brought many groups, many people of our age to New Orleans. So I understand it very well. I've never seen an itinerary like this before. And we give you the heads up that the Travel Club is making this announcement on Sunday in the Villages Daily Sun and other locations. There's a big announcement participating with Facebook because of the nonprofit organization. And so it's a heads up. So that's a quick summary of the trip. I kept it under the 30 minutes that I committed to. I want to show you, we're just going to show it. It has complete sound. But if you go to the website of happening.travel, the web page is now available. So you can see every single detail of this trip. It is available right now. It's just been opened. So members participating in this secret announcement could see it. You can see this complete video that goes through day by day and shows you many more pictures and much more information than the kind of summary that I did. And so David's going to let this play for a minute. And if we have any questions about the trip, I'm happy to help you with those now, if anybody has any questions about it.
And I have linked the direct link to the trip both in the chat here in Google Meet and also in the description of the video if you're in YouTube. So you can just click that now if you want to go see the page and get ready.
Okay. All right. David, you're going to help us with questions?
Yes, Dorothy, I see you have a question.
Yes, I do. How much walking is involved in this? And is there another way of transportation to get from the ship to into Mardi Gras area and also other areas? Because some of us are on the older side.
Yeah, we all are on the older side, including including me. Transportation, I would say, in general, is not a problem in New Orleans during Mardi Gras. Where the ship is, it's on the Mississippi River between the GNO Bridge and Algiers Landing Ferry, which is where the canal. I know if you haven't been to New Orleans, you don't know where those landmarks are, but it's right in the heart of the city. From where the ship is, both taxi and Uber are universally available. So you would not probably drive into the French Quarter, but very seamlessly, this street that the ship is on, if you're looking into the city and the rivers behind you, to the right, down under a mile is Jackson Square, very famous Cafe du Monde and the cathedral. That's the heart of the French Quarter, under a mile away. That road stays open in Mardi Gras completely. They never close that. And so you can take a taxi directly from the ship into the French Quarter easily and not expensive. You also can take taxi from the ship here at the Mississippi River to St. Charles Avenue, which is the other major road that the parades are on. So for transportation, I would say it's no problem at all. And this being escorted, the escort is going to assist you in all of that. Certainly for the events that are included, the parades and New Orleans sightseeing. So not at all. Now, the other walking issue is in the Yucatan. When you come off the ship in Cozumel, essentially the transportation is the coordination for all 2 days of the shore excursion in the Yucatan. So it's going to get you to the main entrance at Chichen Itza. It's going to get you to the main entrance at Ixmal, and it's going to get you to the heart of Merida, which is where the hotel is for the 2-day shore excursion. Once you come into Chichen Itza and once you come into Ixmal, you do have to walk because no transportation is allowed in the archaeological zone. But in general, I would say it is not strenuous to do. So to be honest with you, I'm very confident to say even the most moderate walking issues, it's not a problem for this trip.
I have one more question.
Sure.
You gave prices of the inside, ocean view, etc. You said there's only 8 cabins available in each one, so that means only 8 people are going to be able to go if they do inside cabin?
Yeah, cabins generally are double occupancy. What the cruise line has done is they've said, because of the uniqueness, they shared with the travel club the ability to do this itinerary, and the travel club shared with the cruise line what they wanted to do and the uniqueness of the trip. So the cruise line has allocated to the travel club 8 cabins, 16 passengers inside, 16 passengers ocean view, and 16 passengers in balcony cabins. Everything else has to be requested. Suite, there are a lot of suites on this ship, but they all have to be requested. But at this point, that is the only inventory available. And it was kind of a, from the cruise line, this is a highly unique itinerary for them. And then the travel club made it super highly unique by adding the parades, sightseeing, and then the 2 days in the shore excursion for the Yucatan. So that's how the inventory
The
started.
229 for the Pyramid Shore excursion, is that's per person?
Per person, double occupancy. That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
And Dorothy, and for anyone else, I highly encourage you to go to their main page, go to happening.travel. This trip is just been deployed there on that page. And the day by day itinerary, every detail, I think you'll find it is very comprehensive. And you should do that. And it will tell you, I think, every detail you're looking for.
I've been to Mardi Gras once before, but we were on Celebrity, and the ship was docked way far from where the main street was. We had lovely seats, everything was great, but the walking distance was immense.
Yeah.
And that was a few years ago.
Yeah. I don't, as I told you, I don't think that that's an issue.
Okay, thanks again.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Anything else, David? Any questions that you have in the?
Any other questions? I don't see any questions from YouTube. Anybody else have questions in here? All right. Again, I have included the link in the chat. If you click into the chat, or if you go on the YouTube, which was available through the announcement email, it's in the description of the YouTube video. And of course, it'll be live. It's all live on the website now, and it'll also be available in the Village's Daily Sun on Sunday, as well as Facebook and other markets. So, yeah, thank everybody for joining, and have a great one. So hopefully
David,
we'll see.
Thanks for the invitation, and I was happy to do it. It's
yes, thank you, because running all the
very-
windows and trying to talk is a lot to.
Yeah, okay. It's a very exciting trip. Congratulations on it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting everybody.